Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A local community is applying a bit of pressure to get citizens to bring their homes up to code.
A Macomb County man hit with a lengthy prison sentence for what happened when he took 3 girls to a cabin up north.
And the man seen in this video attacking a woman in a hospital lobby appears to have struck again.
That tops tonight's news at 6. Another attack inside a hospital and also against a woman.
And police say it's the same guy who came out of nowhere last year attacking a Muslim woman in the lobby of Beaumont Hospital in Dearborn. This time it happened at Garden City Hospital. Sean Lay is live with the information you'll only see on Local 4. And Sean, this man served time for that first attack and was released.
Absolutely, and this is wild. You're right. He was released from jail after that first attack. Now, Garden City police say he was being treated at Garden City Hospital, got up with an IV in his arm, and attacked another woman, according to Garden City police. Here's the point right now. No one knows where this guy is tonight. We first showed you this shocking security camera video of a man attacking a young Muslim woman inside Beaumont Dearborn Hospital. The attack took place in February of 2018. The man arrested for the attack, John DeLees, was charged and released after doing time served in jail. Now we've learned DeLees is again at the center of another bizarre and dangerous hospital attack happening at the end of June here at Garden City Hospital. This is 45-year-old Andrea Murphy from Livonia. You can see her eye is blackened and bruised. She was simply walking in to see her father in the emergency room. DeLees was on a bed there, and with an IV in his arm, he got up and struck Murphy in her face. Majid Mogni is Murphy's attorney.
John DeLees comes out from behind the curtain and whacks her, full fist, right across her face. As you can see by the photos, it was a pretty significant injury to her face. You know, the emotional trauma, of course, is worse because she didn't expect it.
Mogni is representing the first victim who is suing Beaumont Dearborn for this attack. He's also representing this new victim in a suit against Garden City Hospital, saying DeLees has a history of doing this and security should have been watching him.
That this person is a danger to others, and when they see him, they should, flag it right away.
Where is he now?
Nobody knows.
You heard that last question there. Where is he tonight? Nobody knows. He was charged by Garden City police and prosecutors with assault and battery. Didn't show up for court. He's out there somewhere tonight. The attorney we spoke with, Majid Mogni, says this man needs help so they can get him help so he stops doing this at different hospitals. Back to you.
It's unbelievable. What's the hospital saying tonight, Sean, if anything?
We did touch base with them. They are aware of exactly what happened. It is in litigation now, so they had no comment at this time.
Sure. All right, Sean, thanks.
Department of Education slapping Michigan State University with a record fine for its handling of the Larry Nassar scandal. University is going to have to pay $4.5 million. The department says MSU failed to properly classify reported incidents and failed to issue timely warnings of the crimes. On top of the fine, the university is going to have to hire a compliance officer. It's going to have to create a committee to better ensure campus and student athlete safety. In the wake of the news, University Provost Jun Yuat resigned, effective immediately.
Well, in a perfect world, everybody would have the money, the time, and the desire to keep their property in line with the standards set by their community. But that's often not how it plays out. So the city of Sterling Heights is dishing out some tough love in the form of yard signs calling out code violators. As Coco McAvoy discovered, it's generating plenty of debate.
In the city of Sterling Heights, you may notice some yard signs scattered here and there. But these aren't signs homeowners post proudly. They're from the city, pointing out properties with code violations.
I understand why they want to keep it looking nice.
But Mark Kilgore thinks the signs are a form of public shaming.
I don't think the way to do it is to shame the people, because nowadays society, it's like, whatever. That's just the way people are.
Anna Crone has had some code violations in the past.
They leave a note and they tell you to fix their home, and that's good enough.
So what are some of the reasons that you could end up with a sign like that in your yard? We did some digging and we found out there are a number of reasons, like a yard that's overgrown with uncut grass or bushes. Also, garbage being left out past collection day And another reason could be an unsafe structure of some kind, maybe a wobbly fence or a shed.
A sign is only placed when there's a violation, and only after we've notified the resident at least one time. Many times it's 2 or 3 times.
City Manager Mark Vanderpool says it's not about public shaming.
It's not ugly signage. You really can't even read it if you're driving by. So it's really not intended to call attention to the property at all.
But once the sign is in front of your property, it's staying there until you can plead your case to the Board of Appeals. And the city manager says it's really rare to get to that point because, in fact, 97% of people who are not in compliance get into compliance before they even have to get a sign. Back to you.
And as far as some of the people that aren't in compliance, Coco, I know there are a lot of reasons why that may be. People who have physical limitations, maybe you're on a tight budget and can't afford to do some of the work that needs to be done. Are they doing anything for people like those?
Yes, so the city of Sterling Heights does have a program that's specific for people with maybe physical limitations, as you mentioned, or don't have the money to fix the problems on their property. And it's filled with volunteers. The people go to those homes and fix those issues for free.
Yeah. Still creating a lot of buzz, though, in that area. All right. Thank you, Coco.
A Macomb County man is sentenced after drugging 3 girls and sexually assaulting them at a cabin in 2016. 54-year-old Michael Wolka is going to serve up to 36 years in prison on a number of charges. In 2017, a victim came forward saying Wolka tried to sexually assault her while at the cabin. Authorities then found video of Wolka assaulting one of the girls several times. He's currently serving time for assaulting the same girls at his home.
The search is on for a man who stole a bag of money while ordering dinner in Mount Clemens. Take a look here. A bank bag was left at the counter and the man spotted it while ordering his food. You can see he leans onto the bag and draws the clerk's attention away as he quickly hides it in his bag. The man then pays for his dinner and out he went. If you know who he is, take a good look there. You're asked to call the Macomb County Sheriff's Office.
Florida may have dodged the worst of Hurricane Dorian, but part of the preparations down there involved making space in animal shelters for a lot of dogs and cats in distress.
Yeah, they needed healthy, adoptable animals relocated, so the call went out across the nation, and of course, the Michigan Humane Society responded.
Kim DeGiulio reports that's created a unique opportunity for anyone looking to adopt.
With Hurricane Dorian moving throughout the South, it's hard not to feel helpless here in beautiful Michigan. But now there's a great way that you can help with the hurricane relief efforts, and it all starts with a trip to the Michigan Humane Society.
When you adopt from your local shelter, you free up a space for an animal in need, and you don't always know where that animal is going to come from. They could come from a situation in your own backyard, or they could come from a natural disaster.
In this case, you could be adopting a cat or a dog that was transported from Florida to Michigan last Sunday.
There were 73 animals in total, but we measured them by weight. Actually, there were 3,000 pounds of animal.
There's a wide variety of cats and larger dogs to choose from. These animals were already up for adoption in Florida, but the Florida shelters needed to free up some space for animals affected by the hurricane.
Either they need to make space for temporary housing for animals who are displaced by flooding, or you find an influx of homeless animals that really need emergency sheltering.
By adopting one of these animals, you're not only getting an adorable new family member, but your money toward the adoption fee will help the shelters in Florida as well.
We're actually going to be donating back 50% of their adoption fee to their originating shelter down in Florida to help them cover costs of repairs and all of those sorts of things.
If you are interested in adopting, you can visit clickondetroit.com to find out all the information. Okay, sit. Good girl. You can't resist, right? Reporting in Westland, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
That's how they work their magic on you. And of course, you'll find all sorts of useful information about animal adoption at the All for Pets page of clickondetroit.com. You'll find our pet of the week and others, though, who need loving homes.